Hey guys, how are you doing today? Oh, I don't have my lights turned on. Oh, probably can't do that from here. I think my success streak is going to end very abruptly today. Ciao, ciao. Hey everyone. So, today it is kind of sentimental day for me because for two reasons actually. The first one is because this is going to be my first advanced race ever. And although it is now a different situation because there is no pressure to me whatsoever. I cannot expect to do good and I can only surprise. So that's good. But on the other hand, I know I'm in for a 25 minutes of insane pain. That's the first reason. The second reason is this is the last race I'm going to do on this very bike. Because tomorrow my Zwift ride arrives. And it is likely my last ride on this bike as well. Honestly, I'm pretty sore from yesterday, from the climbing yesterday. And under normal circumstances, I probably wouldn't do the advanced race today. But I think this bike deserves to race advanced at least once. It brought me here, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sacrifice myself for this bike. But I cannot wait to have shorter cranks already. On one hand, putting down the saddle actually I think improves my power and increase my comfort. On the other hand, I feel like I'm pedaling through mud. Even though it's more efficient. So I'm not going to underestimate the situation today, so I'm going to have a fruit pouch. It's apple, peach, and mango. That's not really A+. I will consider it A+ once I really have the black badge. Which is something I still miss 0.5 watts per kilo FTP. Which is, I believe, about 35 watts. I mean, the bike is screaming for its life the last 3 weeks. Probably last 4 weeks. It is. It's the best pre-workout. Is this? It's the best pre-workout snack. So we're going to be racing with Steven again. And I've seen Douglas Cameron in the lineup. I know what to expect from this race because we've literally done this route last week on Thursday. I don't know even if it makes sense for me to grab the spot at the front of the pen because no, I have a road bike for outside. I wouldn't use my outdoor bike inside actually because I sweat a lot and the sweat actually wrecks the bike. This bike I think wouldn't be safe to ride outside anymore because it's rusted from sweat. And I have a carbon frame road bike, so I wouldn't want to destroy that. That's why I'm getting the Zwift ride. Speaking of Zwift rides, there is still a few hours left for you to get the biggest discount of the year. So if you're thinking about it, get it today really, so you do not miss out. There is still stock available, which is kind of surprising to me. I was expecting they would sell out during the weekend. But obviously Zwift was very well prepared for this event. So even though there is insane demand, there is still stock available. Not only on the Zwift ride, but also on the Kickr core and plethora of different accessories which are discounted as well. So if you are in need of anything, go check it out. And if you buy through one of my links, you are supporting this channel at no extra cost. So thank you very much. Yeah, I will definitely change the seat on the right from my own. The stock seat on the right is not very good. It's basically the only thing on the right that is not good. And I actually think even not very good is an understatement. I would say it's flat out bad. When do I plan to do the stage 2 of the map? I'm not sure. Is it this week? I think it's this week, right? So probably sometimes this week. I will arrange with Steven probably again. Hey Terence, thank you very much. It was a good climb actually. I was very satisfied with the performance there. But I think I'm gonna regret that one today. Yeah, I think unless you have like super sturdy bottom, you need to change your saddle on Zwift ride for your own. That was the only problem my wife had problems with. She actually sat on the saddle and she was like, this is horrible. And I was like, no, you need to get used to it. So I tried it myself. And it was really horrible. But I think it's like when you buy a high-end road bike and they give you those cheapest flat pedals, it's basically so they don't ship it without a saddle, but they know you are going to use your own. Exactly. Hi, Carlos. Ooh, I'm so sore. Do I get anything for winning the race? I would get metric crap ton of self-esteem if I did. But let's be honest, winning this race isn't the target today, and it isn't even realistic. I think today I'm leaving the expectation of winning the races for quite some time. Unless I get demoted back to A. But Terence, if you have a rest day in Xert, it uploads by default a recovery workout. But you don't need to do it. It just uploads it in case you want to do something easy. Hey Black Flame, I was wondering if I would finally face you. But it is a good feeling to enter a race when I'm not under pressure to perform, actually. In the last few races, I subconsciously knew I was aiming for podium. Which makes it a little stressful. That's ideal if you have the same saddle for outdoor and indoor bike. But also don't forget that if you have the same saddle, you should have the same bike fit. Because your saddle comfort changes with bike setup. Not getting dropped, yeah. But I told myself today, I'm not going to put myself under any pressure whatsoever. I don't know what to expect, so I'm just here to have fun. And honestly, I won't be able to perform at my very best today because yesterday's long climb drained me fairly well. I have a really sore right leg. Yo, Steven! Jeff is going to be there. Well, that's not a guy I can compete with. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. This course is brutal. I actually suffered really hard when I was doing it last week. And it was in A. I got gold breakthrough. I actually don't know why they picked this course again after a week. Not. How do you feel, Steven, after yesterday anyway? Are you sore? Well, Scott, you don't need to worry about that. Firstly, I won't be at the sprint. Secondly, even if I was, I wouldn't have power. You are sorry. Okay. I was thinking whether it's just me. Hey, Jamie. How are you? I was watching your stream yesterday, actually. You make it seem so easy. I don't think you are really going deep with this warm-up, but you need to do it sufficiently early, so you have at least 10 minutes of recovery. I can imagine. You've got actually a really good playlist on your stream. We're actually vibing with the music really well. Yeah, I got the claw because I'm currently riding 175s. That's total nonsense for my height. I actually am going to go straight to 160. Maybe experiment with 165, but that's the max. Actually, installing it is very easy. It's like 3 minutes if you have the tools. You need a crank puller, but if you have that. I think I will actually lose a fair bit of my sprint, but I think I will be able to do higher power for longer. Which is my focus lately anyway. Standard length is 170 on the right. Yeah, basically all online calculators are giving me 160, so I'm going to start there. And if I feel like excessive weight on my handlebars, I'll go up a little bit. But with the bear claw, you can go down to 160. And I feel that's what I really need, because the lower saddle actually helped my comfort a lot. I think it helped my power output as well. But I feel like I'm pedaling through the mud, and mainly at the top of the pedal stroke, I can feel like it's not really smooth. It's kind of choppy. Yeah, that's a big advantage of Zwift Ride. You can basically nail the bike fit indoor without spending a dime. But you need to spend for the crank arms, but on top of that, the thing is, Burgos, putting your saddle down isn't the same thing as shortening your crank arms. Because if you put your saddle down with your long, you really have this angle right here at the top of the pedal stroke fairly closed. Whereas if you have shorter cranks, this angle is probably like this. So you are not stressing your hip as much. And absolutely, Jamie. That's exactly my reasoning. I'm really going to dial in the handlebars and everything for comfort. And if I lose 100 watts from my sprint, I think it doesn't matter that much. If I can hold my FTP for longer. That's a really stupid thing I just said, by the way. Don't listen to that. If I can hold any power longer. Yeah, I have my VeloFit subscription as well. And I've actually set up this bike with my VeloFit, and it actually feels really nice. But there are things I cannot change, right? I cannot change the cranks, and I could, but it would be stupidly expensive. And I cannot change really the reach and the height of the handlebars. So I think with the Zwift Ride, it's going to be ideal. I mean, I can swap the handlebars. I can swap the all the front end, right? But it costs money. And I could swap the cranks here, but I think I would need a little narrower handlebars actually, because I also think they're a little wider than my the width of my shoulders, between my shoulders, which inevitably causes me, handle it like this instead of having straight arms, especially when I'm doing higher power. When I'm riding easy, I can control myself, handling them fairly straight. But when I'm hurting, I basically do whatever it's natural. And I've seen that video from GP Llama. I will actually see how I like the stock handlebars. I might change the tape, possibly. You can replace your crank arms, you can replace your handlebars, you can replace your saddle. I don't think anything else is going to rust, actually. It's got that anti-rust paint, right? So you would need to really scratch it first and then sweat over it. And that would still take quite a long time. I think sometime before the let-up next year, I'm going to go for a proper bike fit. But the thing is, I struggle to find or to identify what kind of bike fitter is good. I honestly speaking, I would be most tempted to fly to London to get fitted by bike fitter James, if you know him from YouTube. Then I would be really confident that I have the correct fit. I'm somewhat hesitant to get bike fitted in a bike shop where their ultimate goal is eventually to sell you the most parts. But we will see. For the time being, I'm going to fit myself using my VeloFit and see where that brings me, because I will have all the adjustments available, I will be really able to dial in the stack, the height, everything. So I think I have actually a little bit narrower handlebars outside than I have now. And I even think that the handlebars on Zwift Ride are narrower than this one, because this is a gravel bike. It inherently has a little wider handlebars. The saddle source improved after I put the saddle down. Good luck, Steven. See you at the end. Hopefully in one piece. Yeah, I know, Nomad. That's sad. But I don't think there's any malicious intent behind that from Zwift. I think there's either a legal reason or some sort of, logistical reason or custom related reason that they cannot sell it, or that they don't sell it in Canada. That's a good question. I think if speed is not something you are looking after, I'd say go with gravel bike. But I've never had more fun than on road bike with light carbon wheels and just swooshing around. I can sacrifice a little bit of comfort in that regard. Ideally, have a road bike that has enough clearance to put like 32 mil tires, which I don't. I can use only 28 maximum. But if you can use 32, I think that's absolutely perfect. And even the 28s are fine on most Czech roads. If you're, and I actually use this road bike on gravel, on like the country roads in the middle of a field. So you can ride a lot on a road bike, actually, way more than you would expect. I think Steven said yesterday that he is not going to stream today because he doesn't like to stream during a work day, which I kind of understand. I didn't feel very well when I was streaming the Tour Britannia during my lunchtime either. But I actually was very open about that with my boss. I was like, hey, I need to tackle the race today over lunch, so. Morten, FTP is not your 60-minute power. That's the widest misconception there is. Your FTP is power at which your physiology change, at which mainly your lactate starts building way quicker than it is able to clear itself. But your FTP can be power that you can hold anywhere from 30, 35 to 70 minutes, depending on what kind of rider you are. My FTP now, according to Kickr, is 327 watts, and I can imagine, or 324, I'm not sure now. I can imagine holding that for 35 minutes. If I'm rested. All that assumes you are rested. Didn't they want to do some sort of device that would allow you to change the tire pressure mid-race for Paris-Roubaix? Like that you would deflate it a little bit before the cobbles, then inflate it on the roads again? Okay, I will need to increase my fan strength. I wouldn't want to forget about that today. $97 people. Holy moly. Thank you very much, Robin. I appreciate it. Thanks to you, I will have soon more members than subscribers. Yeah, it was. It's strange to me as well. Surprised no one's attacking here. This is the most chatty race I've experienced in the last month. My rocker plate is actually leaning to one side a little bit. I will need to adjust it. Exactly. Thanks, mate. You know what? That wasn't half bad for first advance race. I think I might actually gain a little bit of racing score. Fully expected I would lose some. By the way, being 200 meters before the end, in the same position, but rested, I will feel really good about my chances. Problem is, I had no sprint left. None whatsoever. I didn't even try it because there was no need to even try. Nice experience though. Looking forward to the next one. I was actually expecting it would go way crazier on the last climb. I expected some of the guys go like 12 watts per kilo. That didn't happen. But they hold it until the end, yeah. Yeah, we are already forming team for ZRL. Yeah, we got really sore feet now. Yeah, but I think I did 8 as well, didn't I? On the climb. I think I was climbing at 8. Or close. Yeah, Jimmy, I specifically selected this time slot because I know it's the most competitive. So since it is the first experience, I want it to be the proper experience as well. So I think that was a fitting send-off for my bike. I'm not getting rid of this bike, by the way. I will wash it and store it in my cellar because I experienced about almost 20,000 kilometers on Zwift on it, and probably another 10 outside. And this was the only bike that was available on the market when COVID hit. When COVID hit, I got stolen. My bike got stolen. Both mine and my wife's. And I wanted a replacement, and no bike shop had any bikes. But this one was available, so it experienced a lot, but time to move on. If the Zwift ride gets delayed to Wednesday, I will still do one more ride on this one tomorrow, but if the ride arrives tomorrow, I will ride on that already. 670? That's nice. I really expected I would lose racing score. I expected in the first advanced races I would be losing the score until I got below 650 again. Then I would move up from A again and do this back and forth until I improve. But if I gained 4 points, that's nice. And how did my velo actually move? That's what I'm interested about, because I find that actually more fair. Do they actually have the result loaded? No, not yet. I'm very close to 2000 velo. That would be nice milestone. Yeah. So we'll have few more minutes of cooldown, and then I will go for kebab, doner kebab, for lunch, for dinner. We got a very nice one close to where I live, so. So I assume somewhere in the second half of the week, we are going to do the second of the map race. I don't even know what the route is, but that's going to be that. I'll have another video coming out. I think it will go up. It will go up, but I'm interested it will go beyond 2000. Probably not, but hey, good job, Steven. That was spicy. Less painful than stage 1? I don't know. Oh, it's New York City QM after party. Huh? I actually like New York City QM because it's like it's 4 minutes the reverse, and 3 minutes the forward. That's a duration where you can really punch it. Really? I actually felt really good during second and third lap. I actually felt fairly good until the last climb, to be honest. It's only shortly after that when I started feeling really crappy. But you did great. You were in front of me on the climb, on the last climb, I believe. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, it was enjoyable. I actually looked forward to be able to race in advance for a long time. Everyone was telling me like, go race advance, go race advance. I was like, I want to. I can't. They wouldn't let me. But I think that was the first route for first advance race. Nice first route. Because obviously if there was like a crazy punchy climb, I probably would have ended up quite a bit worse. Yeah, Ray, I don't mind that. I think that so I think I will finish the lap and go for our kebab. My wife still has COVID, but she mentioned she would like to eat kebab, so I hope that's a sign of it improving. And I'm staying working from home for the whole week because it's like no one from the office would like me to bring COVID there. I don't know if I have it or not. I just don't have any symptoms and I can ride just fine, but I might as well have the virus inside. So say hi to Megan. She's a warrior. Zeal Japan. I think someone already told me about that. Is there a lot of people there? Lunchtime, like American lunchtime or European? If it's European, that's bad for me. Usually I'm at the office. To be fair, Jamie, I think lately I've been trying to hurt myself on my own pretty well. 12 EU time, yeah, that's not good for me. I'm rarely at home. And even if I was, I wouldn't like to blow myself in the middle of the day because I still need to function for the rest of the day. But usually I'm at the office on Friday. We are actually actively discouraged to work from home on Fridays. Oh, was this sort of market here always? That's new, isn't it? Or was it here? $5.6 for 43 minutes. All right. I mean, like, at some point it doesn't matter how hard the race is when I get dropped, right? Like, it can be as hard. Yeah, actually, I kind of admire you, Steven, that you're racing around lunchtime. But I'm glad you do, because if you were racing on evenings, you wouldn't probably race much together. It's something I enjoy. So I'm glad it's your preferred time slot. Set up to work. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, actually. Set up Zwift ride in a conference room or simply in the middle of office. So they are like, do I understand it correctly that there is a lot of cheaters, or like? Right. So I will go before my wife gets really hungry. So don't forget, guys, there is 5 more hours to Black Friday deals. Probably more in the US, but 5 or 6 in EU and UK. So if you are still after Zwift ride, the trainer, or any other accessories that are discounted, go get it right now. There is not going to be a better place this year, I don't think. And if you buy it through one of my links that are in the description, you help this channel at no extra cost, and you get a nice thing for yourself. What better things to do? You basically are supporting this channel from Zwift's pocket. That's great, isn't it? Thank you for being here, guys. It was a nice experience. And I'm looking forward to do it again. But first, we will do the off the map somewhere at the end of the week. I don't know if it's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I will probably, most likely, still arrange with Steve. And I'll see you then, guys. Ciao. I cannot end the stream because my keyboard touchpad is stuck, probably from all the sweat flying here. Already. See you guys.